Okay, I've like recorded this intro like 17 times because I just don't know what to say. So welcome to this Prehistoric Kingdom speed building series where I'm just going to be building a dinosaur zoo. That's the premise. That's what you're in for. I'm just going to be doing this sporadically whenever I feel like it. So sometimes you may see it quite a bit. Sometimes you may not, just how I'm feeling. I don't expect many people to watch this. But the whole premise for this zoo is I was looking through the workshop and like looking at all these very large, very extravagant, very unrealistic zoos. And that's not saying they're bad. They're very good zoos. People put a lot of time and effort into them. But it got me thinking, what if you just did like a small zoo, just like confined to a certain space, and you had to confine to that like specific space? And so that's what I'm doing. I'm building a very small zoo in like a 14-acre space. This idea is partially inspired by Mr. Weasel's Planet Zoo zoos. One of them was like a British one that was confined to 14 acres, and so that's partially what this is based on. I made sure not to go look back at that so I don't accidentally steal ideas from him. So the first animal I'm going to be doing, I'm not going to start with like an entrance or anything. I'm just going to get straight to it and probably like fill out the corners and then figure out what to do in the middle. The first animal is going to be Plateosaurus, because Plateosaurus is cool and it is small, surprisingly. So this Plateosaurus exhibit is kind of just based on like elephant exhibits that I've seen at zoos, with like that specific kind of fence. Because I've always just had that idea for a Plateosaurus exhibit with that elephant fencing or wire fencing, whatever it's called. And since this is like at the back corner of the zoo, I'm just filling in this back area with things to make it look green and not like a fence. So at first I had this thought of like using ivy to put on it, but eventually put bamboo, which just covered the ivy and you flat out just couldn't see it. So I went back and deleted it. And the thing with the bamboo is, I swear in some past version of the game, like the alpha, the beta, or some other update that came before, there was like longer versions of the bamboo. They were like 2 meters, 4 meters, XYZ. That would be perfect for this, but they just don't exist in the current version of the game. So either I'm misremembering or it existed and it got deleted for whatever reason. But I really think that'd be like a really good addition to the game. Like long strips of bamboo or water reeds to like help with something like this. 'Cause that's a lot of bamboo. So this is actually the second time I tried to do this exhibit. The first one was based on the photo of Parasaurolophus on the wiki, which I took actually. It's always been one of my favorite screenshots from this game. It's just very, I don't know, very aesthetic. That with that sunset and the barn in the background of that sail and the way they're posed. I just love it. It's my favorite photo I've ever taken in this game. And so I tried kind of replicating that here with the dirt and a brick barn, and it just didn't look good. It looked really, really bad. So I completely scrapped it and did a concrete house based on the one at the Houston Zoo, the elephant house at the Houston Zoo. This is definitely not going to look as good as that because my building skills in PK are absolutely non-existent. And you'll notice in a second that I don't put any structural support in this building. So it's just kind of hanging on by a thread. But yeah, I don't think I have much to say about the building. So I'll just shut up now, I guess. So this is just me experimenting with the different trims, trying to give it a bit of a splash of color like the one at the Houston Zoo, but it just didn't come out good, so just experimented a bit and then decided, nah, all gray, and that's why it's all gray. And then because I was moving it about, it messed up the terrain, so I had to completely undo all of that. And yeah, this is a reminder to save often, save quick, save often, so that you don't have to go back and redo stuff. And if you thought I had little to say about the barn, then I have absolutely nothing to say about decorating the habitat. I put in a water thing for them to drink out of, but still put in a pool because it looks nice, you know, grass to make it more green, because I realized that not all elephant exhibits are just dirt, I guess. Didn't really do much with the terrain tool in this, just kind of put some dirt where I think they'd walk around and some rocks and stuff. Later you'll see me putting in some of those umbrellas, again referencing that Parasaurolophus photo I'm so fond of. Well anyways, while he's doing that, I would actually like to give a few fast facts about Plateosaurus and just, give some trivia and stuff. So, here's some stuff I have prepared. Plateosaurus was a Triassic sauropod morph discovered by Johann Friedrich Engelhardt in 1834 and described 3 years later by Hermann von Meyer as P. engelhardti, becoming the 5th dinosaur to be officially described. Its name means broad lizard. Plateosaurus has a lot of discoveries, with over 100 specimens having been found. It has been found in Germany, France, and Switzerland, but fossils have also been found in the North Sea off the coast of Norway, accidentally discovered during an oil digging operation. It is perhaps best known for its appearance at the end of Walking with Dinosaurs Episode 1, where it showed up in Arizona for some reason. This is incredibly inaccurate, even at the time, and I personally just started to interpret it as a metaphor for the coming of the dinosaurs. Today, there are 3 accepted species of Plateosaurus, P. trossengenesis and P. gracilis, which are the species in PK, as well as P. longiceps. Originally, there was only going to be 1 Plateosaurus species in the game, that being P. engelhardti, but that species isn't valid anymore. Wikipedia describes Plateosaurus' taxonomic history as long and confusing and a chaotic tangle of names, so to save my sanity, I'm not going to delve too far into it, but know that there's a lot of nonsense going on involving other species such as Celosaurus and Graciosaurus. The 2 dig sites of Plateosaurus in-game are the Lowenstein Formation and the Trossingen Formation. Both of these formations are located in the southern German states of Baden-Württemberg and Bavaria. Historically, this region is known as Suabia, and the abundance of Plateosaurus fossils in this region have earned the dinosaur the nickname of Schwabischer Lindworm. Speaking of lindworms, I now turn to Plateosaurus skin names. I'd like to include a segment in these talking about the skin names, as some of them have very fun themes, including Plateosaurus. Plateosaurus skins are all named after European dragon-like monsters. P. trossengenesis' 2 skins are named Basculus and Lindworm, and P. gracilis' skin name is Draculus. The Basculus needs no introduction, being portrayed in that one wizard series I won't name, and that thought experiment that's trying too hard to be scary. It is also one of the names of the South American Jesus lizard, making it a valid Wings of Fire name. It is said that the Basculus gaze alone is enough to kill, with even Leonardo da Vinci, yes, that Leonardo da Vinci, writing about how dangerous it was. Despite this, it is a common prey of the weasel. Just regular weasels, I guess it's kind of like a mongoose-cobra relationship. It should be noted that there is no mention of the original Basculus being able to petrify people. It only kills, and that was an invention of the unmentionable wizard series. The Lindworm is a snake-like dragon that sometimes has limbs and sometimes doesn't depending on your folklore. It is said that anything underneath a lindworm will grow in size, which, according to Wikipedia, is what gave rise to dragons like in gold. But it's Wikipedia, so take that with a grain of salt. It is also said that they swallow their own tail, turning into a wheel to flee. The most famous lindworm story is the Danish fairy tale King Lindworm. It is about a queen who births a lindworm instead of the usual human. The lindworm's son demands a wife for himself, but eats everyone his mother sends. It ends with a maiden getting the lindworm to shed his skin for every dress she takes off, with her tricking him by wearing like 100 dresses until the lindworm molts into a regular human being. The Draculus is another serpent dragon with an animal named after it, that being the Draculus jerboa, making it another valid Wings of Fire name. There's not really much to say about the Draculus, as it's kinda just another serpentine dragon without any magic powers or interesting tales attached to it. Da Vinci did write about it though, so that's something I guess. And that's some fast facts about Plateosaurus and its implementation into the game. And it looks like we're wrapping up the building, and so let's go and take a look. Alright, and here we have the Plateosaurus exhibit from eye level. I don't really know what to say. I mean, you watched me build it, you heard my process. Did these little railings and bushes so you can't like stick your hand in there and get it bitten off. But yeah, I think it's nice little exhibit, you know, you come up from this direction and it curves around with the path. Not really sure what I'm going to put over here or in the rest of the zoo, in fact. There aren't really many small species. I know whenever they do finish the vivariums, I want to put those in. But I do know what is next. A certain little saber-toothed cat. But that's for next time. For now, though, thank you for watching. Don't know if I actually will do another one of these. This might just be a one and done, depending how I feel. But if you do have any suggestions, please feel free to leave them in the comments on what to put in the zoo, how to improve this exhibit, how to improve the structural integrity of this building. And for now, I say goodbye.